We have reached a point where the default setting is to broadcast. If an experience isn't filmed, posted, or streamed, there is a nagging sense that it didn't actually happen. We record the gym sessions, the morning lattes, and every minor professional win. We are constantly narrating our own lives for an audience that is mostly just looking for their own reflection. But there is a specific kind of exhaustion that comes with this. You can have 1,000 people witness your breakthrough, yet still feel as though you are standing completely still on the inside. The cultural script tells us that peace is a lagging indicator. We believe that once we secure the external variables, the title, the income, the partner, then our internal state will finally settle into a baseline of calm. We spend years waiting for a change in our circumstances to grant us permission to feel better, effectively putting our emotional health on hold until the world outside decides to cooperate. This strategy turns you into a passenger. Your peace of mind is outsourced to variables you cannot influence, leaving you reactive to every shift in your environment. Real change operates through a reversal of that flow. It starts with a stabilization of the internal state, which then pushes outward to reorganize everything around it. The moments that actually pivot the trajectory of a life happen when the cameras are off. The most significant shifts are the ones that no one else can see. This shift often begins with a quiet, private collision with your own truth. There is no fanfare and no notification, just a moment where the life you've been living suddenly looks different than it did 5 minutes ago. It's the executive who realizes, in the middle of a successful quarter, that the metrics they've been chasing have no relationship to their actual values. The external success is there, but the internal alignment has vanished. Or it's the person who stops trying to manage a toxic relationship. They don't make a scene or demand an apology. They simply recognize that they no longer fit into that dynamic and quietly withdraw their energy. This clarity is often painful. It forces you to acknowledge the distance between your current reality and the person you actually are. While this friction feels like a collapse, it is actually the mechanism of realignment. It is the necessary starting point for moving from the inside out. When you stop letting external events dictate your emotional state, your internal landscape begins to stabilize. You are no longer waiting for the world to be right before you can be okay. That stability shows up in your behavior. You stop over-explaining your boundaries. You stop reacting to minor provocations. And you start making choices based on your own integrity rather than social pressure. These new behaviors create a ripple effect. When you stop tolerating a specific dynamic, that dynamic is forced to change or disappear. You begin to attract people and opportunities that resonate with this more consistent version of yourself. In this sense, your environment acts as a lagging reflection of your internal state. As your choices change, the physical world around you has to reorganize to accommodate the person you have become. Chasing external metrics is an inefficient way to live because it addresses the symptoms rather than the source. The inner life is the cause. The outer life is the result. Shifting this sequence isn't about grand gestures. It's about a commitment to internal observation that most people simply never bother to do. Start by simply pausing the moment you feel a surge of internal friction. When a conversation or a decision feels off, stop before you react or say yes. The goal isn't to fix the situation immediately. It's simply to acknowledge the feeling of misalignment. You are training yourself to notice the gap between your impulse and your truth. During that pause, ask yourself if the choice you're about to make is for your benefit or if it's a performance for someone else's. It also helps to reclaim the bookends of your day. Keep the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes free from social media and external metrics. You protect your internal state from the noise of other people's expectations. As these moments of noticing accumulate, your baseline shifts. You move from being a person who reacts to the world to a person who acts from a centered place. Real evolution doesn't need an audience to be valid. The camera may never capture the moment you decide to change, but the life you build on the other side of that decision will be unrecognizable from the one you left behind.